Again, getting Shakir Baptiste. I may try to go after Jacob Silva. Yeah, Jacob Silva's looking like the one to trade for in the off season for Tate and Ertl. Dang, the Vikings have a lot of draft. I would be using it to upgrade my depth because the Vikings do not have a lot of depth. But I think they are a contending team now.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start, but I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in week 9? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st down, Leonard. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake, Leonard. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That was deliberate to get the milestone done.
A few
I got
issues
so
here on the
nervous that
offensive
I
line.
actually wasn't
Apparently,
throwing
he
Gibson, and I
got
was
sacked
trying
5
to dive
times
in.
last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount
Yeah.
here because
I was
it's a
like,
different
did
team
I
they're
dive with
facing,
the,
but they watch the film as well. So they'll
did I
take
control
many
the
of
right
those
person?
same
I couldn't,
principles
I don't know
and try to
why.
apply them in this game to see
Like
if
it was
they
just
fix
panic brain,
what was
thinking
wrong with
that
them in the
Wilbur
last game.
was Gibson and Gibson was Wilbur.
And some
All's well that ends
secondary
well.
help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Now let's go.
Back to throw. Leonard. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go! What?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. How did he stay? Taking it right down Broadway. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Now let's go! Boo,
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happen. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. I learned something. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Let's go! Brand 38!
And on the ground they go with a running back. Room to run past midfield. Nice move at the 40. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
I don't care what the game plan was coming in. After these runs,
you're running it, right?
you make sure you keep circling on your play sheet, running plays that are working, and keep patting those big offensive linemen on the back. They're doing a great job.
Goes without saying the defense is going to have to adjust to this.
In a big way, and they've got to figure out, do they have to sell out to stop the run, or can they just do it better than what they've done so far?
Let's go! What?
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the 1st quarter. And it's the Steelers with the early lead. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. And they've got it here with a 1st down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He's to the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Leonard, throw left side, complete. That's Spencer. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Leonard. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better.
And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Back to throw now on first down. And he floats one there, incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Leonard. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Let's go! 190!
Back to throw here. This is caught. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play.
Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
Now let's go!
And they will take a knee here. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter.
Here we go. Green, 39.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. This is brought in at the 21. Fancy footwork at the 45. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Ravens locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Tariq Cohen, a touchdown catch in the victory. finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. The Titans trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are